What's up, you guys? Godzilla fan freaks coming at you today with another figure review. Boy, it's been a while since I've done one of these. It's been kind of a drought, but thank you all who are still subscribed. Thank you all who like and follow the page on Facebook. And just thank you all who are sticking with me even through these dry times of no content. I really appreciate it. I'm still always responding to comments and messages and everything like that, I'm still alive in the community. I'm still in pretty much all the Godzilla Facebook groups and everything like that. I'm still around, just haven't done anything in a while, and that's mainly because I haven't bought anything lately until now. And so I finally decided to pull a trigger. Two triggers, actually, because I got two reviews coming your way, but we're going to knock out this one first. And today we're going to be talking about the NECA 1962 Godzilla from King Kong vs. Godzilla. Just to get on started with the box. Got a nice, poster of King Kong vs. Godzilla. This is what the classic poster looked like, whatnot. On the side, you got more of the same. On the back, you got the prototype pictures and everything that we saw. And this is where the price tag went and everything. Kind of blocked out Godzilla's face up here, but nothing crazy. Battle of the century, Godzilla, will you win? Which we all know he doesn't. A little write-up down here for King Kong versus Godzilla. He has an atomic blast, heat effect that comes with. On the other side of the spine, we got more of the same that was on the other one. Bottom, you got, barcode, NECA, real toys, all that stuff. There is the top of the box. And then, of course, when you open it up, you get the window where the figure would be. Nice picture of Mount Fuji in the back. And then you got a nice picture of the figure around some buildings and whatnot. So, very cool box. Not really sure if I'm going to keep it or not. It does have a little, tear scuff mark right there. If anything, I probably will just cut off this front flap and keep it as like a mini poster, and it's relatively, thick cardboard, so kind of like a mini, hard poster for the movie. So if anything, I'm probably going to keep that. But overall, nice box. I do like what NECA is doing with their boxes as of lately, revamping them. They make them pop more on the shelf, rather than just the normal blister cart packaging that we were getting. So anyway, enough blabbering about the box. Here's the figure in all his glory. Let me adjust the camera here a little bit. Tilt it downwards. Get a nice shot. Godzilla 1962 from NECA. I have to say, NECA did a bang-up job. He looks a little wonky in some areas, but nobody's perfect. 1962 is pretty much my top favorite suit. I have a lot of attachments to the movie. I watched King Kong vs. Godzilla a lot as a kid growing up, so I'm definitely very fond of the film. And just overall, he looks great. He's chunky, he's thick, he's a big boy, and definitely like the tail. They definitely made the tail nice and round and thick, and just like it was in the movie. Spines look great. Skin. Very nice scaly skin. Face. The face looks good. As far as detail goes, for me, he definitely looks like 1962 when the mouth is closed. If the mouth is partially open, which let me get it partially open, it still keeps that 1962 look. And then when you have it all the way open, it's still kind of there, but there's still something that just looks off to me. I don't know what it is. But more or less, if the mouth is just kind of cracked open, or if it's all the way closed, that is the epitome of 62. Just looks great. Hands definitely represent Godzilla 62. Spines, everything. The feet, they did a really nice job on the feet. There could be a little bit more spread on the toes, but just a little bit. But other than that, feet look good. Everything looks good. The eyes are nice yellow with black pupil. All the teeth individually sculpted and painted. Looks good. Very nice red inside the mouth. Hopefully I'm not rusty doing a figure review. Haven't done one of these in a long time. It feels like anyway. but it always seems to come back to me when I get behind the camera. Spines, very nicely sculpted and painted along the outer edges with the lighter ivory colors. Same with the ivory colors for the claws on the hands and the feet. Very nice green tint all the way around, you know, green grayish color, which pretty much was his color in the movie. Looks really good. I like it. I like it a lot. He looks great. onto his articulation. NECA, with their articulation, they're okay with their Godzilla figures, but they're really stiff. And if you ever want a way to get around, because I have seen in some of the groups that when they go to move some of his joints, they're very stiff, and some people have actually broken some of the ball joints. Some people have broken them. And the way you get around that is if you really don't want to take a chance, if a joint is seeming really stiff and hard to move, take a blow dryer to it. Just take a blow dryer to the whole figure if you want to. Warm it up and then move those joints around. You know, get them all nice and loosened up. You know, bend the elbows. Again, this guy's elbows were like locked in place and I really didn't want to break it. They're still kind of stiff now that it's kind of hardened back up, but they still move. Very little, but they still move. So if you're ever worried about that and you don't want to break your figure, just take a blow dryer to the whole thing. Fixes everything right up. Same thing with attaching the tail segment, because this guy's his tail segment comes separated from him. So just kind of heat up the one tail segment that pops into the ball joint and boom, you're good to go. Other than that though, articulation, he's pretty much almost got a full articulated tail. You know, it's definitely the highlight of his articulation. His upper torso, you can kind of get a little bit of wiggle and rock movement out of, but not a whole heck of a lot. His neck, same thing, little bit of wiggle, rock back and forth, but, you know, only ever so much, not a lot. His mouth, of course, opens and closes. His arms at the shoulders can move up and down, but again, because of his bulkiness, it is also hard to get all that movement. Elbows, again, are hard to move, but they do only move ever so much. Not a whole heck of a lot. Wrists can rotate and bend on a hinge. And then, of course, he has finger articulation, which with this hand, it almost looks like he's like pinching something. He's like, woohoo, you know. Legs at the hips, you can kind of kick out, kind of kick back. Not a whole heck of a lot. He does have a knee swivel and he does have a knee joint, but man, you're just not going to get a lot out of it, you know, just ever so slightly. Ankles, a little bit of a pivot, rotation, you know, back and forth. So articulation on this guy is very limited. Not a whole heck of a lot going on as far as articulation, but a good figure, you know. It's good articulation for what it is. You know, Godzilla couldn't do a whole bunch of wild movements anyway, so you're only going to get pretty much what you need out of this guy. So, paint, detail, articulation, looks good. All the way around. No real complaints. On to his beam effect. Here it is. And you might say, wow, that looks different than what we normally have been seeing. That's because I painted mine. I'm tired of these companies pretty much doing half-assed jobs. NECA, SH Monster Arts, you know, both of them are not perfect. And the beam effect at first, you know, it's cool. The Showa Godzilla pretty much did kind of have like a whitish, misty-ish, you know, fire. But in King Kong vs. Godzilla, it did have that hint of purple. It did have that hint of violet. So what I did is I just took some paint and I just kind of lightly went over it. Nothing really heavy. Nothing really heavy, but just lightly went over it. That way it blended in a little bit with the white. And there you go. He kind of just has that, you know, purplish fire effect now. And then, of course, that just plugs right into his mouth. Like so. And there you go. I think I did a good job. Looks really good to me. I like it a lot more than it was, because before it was just too bland, you know. And again, SH Monster Arts, they're as guilty as NECA. They're kind of lazy when it's been coming to their beam effects. But yeah, so just a simple paint job. You can easily do this too. And again, it's just kind of like a light, shiny purple that I used. Nothing crazy. You can get paint at Michael's or any hardware store that you decide to go to for, you know, hobby stuff. It's easy enough. And yeah, just touching it up, and that can change the whole dynamic of your figure. Can make it look really nice. So that's about it for the effect. Just goes in his mouth. It's the same effect as we've been seeing with some of NECA's Godzillas. The 1964 has the same kind of effect. It's a little bit thinner and smaller. It's not as thick of a fire. But this is the same one that came with the 1954 repaint Godzilla and whatnot from NECA. So it's the same exact mold, same exact thing. You know, I just touched it up with a little bit of purple coloring. So now, how about we get on to comparisons, huh? Let's get on to some comparisons here. Here we got the SH Monster Arts 1962, which, again, just my opinion, I do like them both, but I do like the SH Monster Arts better. Just looks that much better to me. Again, it's SH Monster Arts. You get what you paid for. You know, around 20, 25 bucks for this guy. And of course, this guy's, you know, 60 to 70 bucks. So you do get what you pay for. You know, you got Yuji Sakai sculpting this guy. He's a famous Godzilla sculptor who has sculpted a lot of Godzilla figures over the years from SH Monster Arts, X Plus, you name it. But overall, look good. Definitely some 62 going on. I love 62. Can't get enough. And then, of course, you know, there's the beam effect that came with that guy. So again, just very bland, very plain. Probably might touch this up with some purple like I did this one. Just might do it a little differently because it's a different kind of style beam. But yeah. Let's size them up with another NECA. Here is the poster repainted release of the 54. Of course, you got that same beam, same exact thing. Just this one's colored, which that's what I liked about it, you know. They weren't lazy with it. They could have been lazy. But there he is scaled with that. Again, they're roughly the same size, you know. This guy's a little bit bulkier, but that's about it for that. Let's see. Let's size him up with a King Kong, right? Here is the Raimundo King Kong, 1962. Scaling might be a little off, but they actually look pretty good next to each other. Godzilla was just a touch bigger, but probably not this massive. But they look good, to say the least. I like the way they look together. So there he is with the Raimundo. Here he is with the 50th anniversary memorial box, Godzilla 1962. Again, look great together. My camera wants to focus a little bit here. Kind of doesn't on this guy. Doesn't want to focus over here. That's okay. You guys get the gist. But there's the 50th anniversary memorial box. Here he is, scaled up with the 25 centimeter from X Plus Godzilla 1962. Get my hand out of the way. Get the beam effect out of the way. Here he is with the 30 centimeter X Plus Godzilla 1962. Of course, he's not really going to fit in the whole camera shot. Let me tilt up my camera a little bit. It's the best I can kind of do without it really moving on me. But you guys get the idea. I love 62, so I had to bring out all these size comparisons. And of course, you get to see the comparisons of several different 62 figures. And you might be able to figure out kind of what you want. If you want NECA. Do you want maybe an X Plus? You know, it's just all up to what you want to collect, what you want to invest in, you know. But in my mind, you can't go wrong with anything 62. Again, it's pretty much my top favorite design. You can't go wrong with it. Oh, get the big boy. And here he is with the gigantic X Plus Godzilla 1962. Really pan out there. So there's that size comparison. there's not so much I can do as far as turning this guy goes. So there's that comparison. And again, I just love 62. So you get to see all the different types of figures that I got for him to represent him. And then you can make a decision later on yourself on what you want. Whether anyone's really going to try to hunt down one of those Gigantics, I don't think so, because they're relatively pricey once they hit aftermarket, and that's more pricey than they were to begin with. Anyway, but that's my review pretty much, you guys. Hopefully I did a good job. I'm not too rusty, you know. Did a bang-up job. Let me stick this in his mouth here. Let's get a nice ending shot here. And that's about it. So hope you guys enjoyed my review on NECA's 1962 Godzilla figure. My next review after this will be the other figure I got, which is the NECA 1964 Godzilla. So we'll be looking at that guy next time. So, but for now, again, thank you all who have stuck with me for this long. Really appreciate it. You guys are all really awesome. So like always, we are Godzilla Fan Freaks. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Go like the Facebook page. Give it a follow. And we will see you guys in the next review. Thank you for watching.